Good evening. Welcome to Tuesday night, 7:30. It's time to get it on. It's Fantasy Football League Live Conversations. I am your host, Erica, here with my boys, Mike and Aubrey, holding me down. Fabian is out sick today. We wish you well. Get better. But right now, it's time for us to go in. It's Fantasy Football Week 15. We just finished 14. How you guys doing? How you feeling about it?
Hey, feeling good. I'm not in the playoffs, so now I can relax and sit back at home and watch them bums go at it.
Aubrey?
It was a good week. It was crazy. All the snow, defense is lacking, so yeah, interesting.
And you're in the playoffs, not the real playoffs, but the play playoffs.
Well, as long as that matters, I'll take that.
Please, you're the first loser.
I'll take that.
He's the first loser. He's happy with that.
Wait, are you starting?
Leave us alone.
On Google Hangouts, we have joining us.
We have Jerb, KB, Viz, and Hop. Welcome, brothers. How y'all doing?
Good, thank you. All good, man.
And you know,
hey, glad to see y'all.
right, and everybody knows every Tuesday we meet and talk FFLLC live football here. We go head to head, and we're in the playoffs now, so it's just a few teams left, and we'll see where they have to go.
If you would like to join us and talk about your team, please email us at liveconversations@gmail.com. There's like 5 more weeks, 4 or 5 more weeks of
About 3 weeks.
3. Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Well, it's not that much time left, but if you would like to get in and talk about your show, go ahead and do that. Email us at liveconversations@gmail.com. We still got the playoffs to talk about. We're going to review Week 14, review our sit-em, stardom, and more. So go ahead, grab you a beer, grab you some popcorn. We'll be back in about 2 minutes to continue the show. It's Fantasy Football League Live Conversations on MediaMindProTV.com. Stay tuned.
The kind of people that wear game breaker apparel are people with active lifestyles. A game breaker transcends sports. Game breaker lifestyle is an inspired lifestyle. Being a game breaker is about breaking this game of life. Now ask yourself, are you a game breaker?
Welcome back to MediaMindProTV.com. It is Tuesday night, so you already know it's Fantasy Football League Live Conversations. And we're here with my boy Mike and Aubrey in the studio. Got our guests on Google Hangouts, and we're here to talk about Week 14. Got a lot of things going on.
Ooh.
You know, this is it. It's down to the wire. It's the
playoffs.
It is, right?
It's the playoffs.
Got to give it up for our first place, who's been in first place. My boy Scoregasms, a.k.a. KB. How you feeling? First place, you beat Hop Legion of Doom. You remain unbeaten against Hop. Beat them 135-99.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm doing good. I know you looking pretty good over there.
I'm all right.
What's that?
Money.
Hold up a second. Let me pour my drink. Yeah, I'm doing great. How y'all doing?
You toasting it up over there. You are doing. You
Absolutely.
sitting pretty.
I'm toasting it up to my regular season championship. You know how we do. 11-3. I had a C- draft grade and ended up on top. So I must have did something right.
You must have. And
If
then
he loses, boy, if he loses, this is
Ooh.
gonna be fun next week.
Can I respond to that? Because honestly, anything can happen in the playoffs. Like you
Right.
saw this week, there was a lot of injuries. That says nothing to me. If you get through the whole season and you're in first, you are the best manager to me. It's not just one game.
Oh, no. You got to win the big game. You got to win
I mean,
the big
he's got 11
game.
wins. He's only lost
But
3
you
times.
got to win the
You
big
do.
game.
Absolutely.
Don't be bailing out already.
I'm not bailing out.
Okay, you got to win the big one.
I have total confidence in my team. I'm going to give you an example. In another league, I lost Gronk and Adrian Peterson yesterday, and I lost the game because they had those freak injuries because of the weather. That can happen. But I'm just saying, if I beat you all like a donkey, like a rented donkey, over 14 weeks, you know
You
what it is.
still got to win the big game.
KB,
Yes.
say what you feel. Tell them you're going to run the table, man. Don't be backing down.
Thank you.
I'm going to run the table.
Okay, there we go.
Put it on tape.
Big Brother Hops saves him.
Thank you, KB. All right, in second place, we have Visionaries, a.k.a. James, who has 9 wins, 5 losses, and recently beat Aubrey, who's right here in the studio with us, 116-108, another repeat head-to-head play. Congratulations, Viz. You done came up. It's been a long. You came up from 4th place to 3rd. Now you in 2nd. Looking good over there. How you feeling?
I've been in 2nd for a long time, and I did what I said I was going to do.
You came
now,
up.
with Aubrey this week. I'm in the playoffs.
Hey, Aubrey,
You know what? You did say that.
You
But you know
sorta
what? You barely
quiet.
beat me because I only had 2 players that really performed. So all your players did better than mine, but I still held my own against you.
The only thing that matters.
Listen, excuse me, time out. Enough from the peanut gallery, but let's correct one thing there, brother. Let's correct one thing. You beat me by 8 points. You've been in this league a lot longer than this rookie, but I will tell you this. You will have your day, because I will serve you.
You
Remember
sound
that.
kind of salty to me.
I ain't salty. I'm telling like it is, brother. I'm telling like it is, brother.
Speaking of serving, speaking of getting served.
Oh, my
I
goodness.
hate to say it, but
No, you don't.
Right. Oh,
No,
my
you
gosh.
don't. I got it.
Biggest
Thanks.
loss of the week. You lost by
About
64
3 weeks in a
points.
row. It's about 3 weeks in a
And
row.
you got all your time. I mean, your 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th pick are all injured.
All injured.
So I can understand it, but
Still, I got to be able to rebound. I'm not using excuses. I got my beat this year, but like any good Cleveland Brown fan can say, see you next year.
And we're also going to have an opportunity for our playoff season. So we'll talk more about that later on in the show. But I got to give it up. Freddy's Fanatics.
Yeah, they got fanned.
Yeah.
Wow,
Not doing too well. 151-87. Once again, giving it up to Ike Turner, who beat him in 5th place. Coming up, we will talk.
So he beat you like Tina.
Yep, like I was Tina.
What's love got to do with it? But go on.
Coming up, we will review our Stidham Stardom. We had a couple of disappointments, including we'll let you know when we're coming up. It's Fantasy Football League Live Conversations. You stay tuned. If you would like to be part of the show, you can email us at liveconversations@gmail.com. That's liveconversations with an S @gmail.com. Stay tuned. We got more for you coming up on MediaMindProTV.com.
Yeah, well, Slaw, we doing wide receivers on points per reception, so it's all about the quarterback.
What do you think about the wide receivers that the Atlanta Falcons have?
Wide receiver, we're talking about wide receivers right now. The wide receivers going to really be based out of the NFC.
Everybody focusing on wide receivers, but I'm gonna tell you, the sleeper wide receiver for New York Giants.
Did they overloaded with wide receivers?
You got to split the time. You got to split the catches. You're going to split the yards.
Who's better at that than the slot receiver?
As I'm picking receivers, I'm looking at the quarterbacks.
The wide receivers, but Tony Gonzalez is going to factor in.
In order to get a wide receiver, you got to make sure that that guy is coming through with everything, 100% all the time.
Hit me with the wide receiver. The wide receiver. The wide receiver. The wide receiver. Busted, you're close.
We'll do a word association game. It looks like you're gonna be free agency quite a bit.
Well, good.
Right. We have a tremendous receiving core, and he's gonna fit right in.
Yeah, but I think everybody's seen that show before. So you're gonna have to. I think he beats you more as a decor.
You think so?
Good evening, welcome back to Fantasy Football League live conversations right here on MediaMindProTV.com, where we talk smack talk stats each and every Tuesday night at 7:30. And if you've been watching the show all season long, you know we do a sit 'em start 'em segment each and every Tuesday at the end of the show. And I like to review last week's predictions because I like to say some of our staff members or panelists got them wrong, especially when it came down to RG3, who was pulled from the game, so he didn't get to pull off as many points as you would hope he had pulled off. And let's see, who started him? Terrence and KB started him. KB, did you have RG3 as a team on your team? And did you start him like you said you would?
I did not have RG3 on my team. I traded him to the Steel Curtain, and that kind of explains what happened to him early in the season. I did draft him, and then I traded him to Steel Curtain. He's had a really rough year. And I was wrong. I thought last week that he looked like he was turning a corner, but he regressed. So I don't know. They need to sit him for the rest of the year, let him get healthy, and come back next year.
So are you telling me you talked him up, traded him,
Yeah.
and then sat him this week? Oh! Now I see some of the dirty things you do to win.
He said, "Hey, take this guy. I like him. Take him.
He's great. I'm gonna start him. Trade him."
I thought about it today. Why nobody would trade with me, and that's a prime example.
I can't wait to get in this league, man. I cannot wait to get in that league next year. Oh my God, I can't wait. Oh Lord have mercy.
We also have Drew Brees, which was a good look. Passed for 313 yards, 4 touchdowns. Everyone started him last week, and that's a no-brainer.
Yeah, who would sit Drew Brees?
Exactly, can't go wrong with him.
Not at home.
Let's see,
Yeah,
Josh.
you don't sit Drew at home.
No, you don't sit Drew, period.
Never.
Yeah.
You know.
Please get the Jason
go to
Campbell.
Seattle.
Even if you go to Seattle, you got to play him because you never know. Drew Brees can explode on you.
You say against Seattle, but Seattle wasn't impressive at all this past
That's
week.
why
Only
you
4
got
fantasy points,
to
so
play a Drew. A
you
Drew Brees
really
you got to
never
play.
know. But speaking of Seattle's defense, everyone said start them, and they only pulled out 4 fantasy points. So it really wasn't a good look if you did start them. What went wrong with Seattle?
Playing San Francisco.
Yeah.
But that's another. Those 2 defenses you got to play no matter what. Anybody you take in the first 5 rounds should be playing for you, or your season is probably weak anyway.
Seattle's a good home team too, versus being on the road.
Oh yeah, well.
Advantage.
They've only lost how many games this year?
2.
And they've both been on the road, so it doesn't matter on the road or at home, they're going to be good
Well,
for
I
you.
mean, it's not a blowout. I mean, they have blowouts at home versus being on the road.
Now, I will say another mistake we made last week is 5 out of 6 of our panelists said to sit Jason Campbell.
Yes, let's
That
go.
was
Let's go.
a
Let's
huge
go. Yes.
mistake. 391
mistake.
passing yards, 3 touchdowns, giving you 35 fantasy points.
No Browns, no Cleveland Browns were in the studio last week.
Right, exactly.
Jared wasn't on here and I went in here because Campbell would have been starting, baby.
Erica, here's a guy that's had 3 lame duck quarterbacks, and he leads the league.
We're talking about the quarter. We're talking about Campbell, not Josh Gordon.
Well, no, we're talking about Campbell as far as him getting the ball.
Oh yeah, but Josh.
Getting the ball.
You're right.
And also, KB and Terrence, y'all both sat Andrew Luck, who produced 40 fantasy points.
Well,
What's going through your mind? Like, when you see those 4 touchdowns, like...
Absolutely nothing in mind because, like I said, y'all know my saying, the sunshine shines on what? Anybody remember that from last week?
I wasn't here. I'm sorry. I watched the show, but it didn't stick out.
On the dogs, you know what? Every now and then. Let me tell you, you cannot. Everybody's gonna have a good game every now and then. You cannot play Andrew Luck lately the way he's been playing at all. I'm sorry.
Well, 40 fantasy points. He proved you wrong. Hop.
Yeah. Hey, Erica.
Yeah.
I see that we all missed Ben Tate as well.
Yeah, definitely carried 14 for 53 yards.
Yeah.
Ben had a horrible week.
He did.
Yeah, he had a
Everybody
horrible.
said starter.
Oh, I got to be next year.
Jaguars
I got to
shut
be
him
in this
down.
league next year. My goodness.
Be careful what you ask for, Jerry.
Yeah.
No, I want it. Hey, Bootsy Collins, I want this. No. Y'all need me on that line.
Well,
Speaking
of next year, if
y'all need me over there.
Thank you. Speaking of next year, if you would like to join our league, now is the time to sign up and get things rolling for next year. Because you know we have limited spaces. If you'd like to join the show next year, you can still join it this year if you'd like to just be on the show. But if you'd like to join the league, definitely email us at liveconversationswithans@gmail.com. You can join the league. You can join the show. Tell your friends and family. It's MediaMindProTV.com. Stay tuned for more fantasy football live conversations.
And make sure that you bring your leagues in. If you're in a league, we want you to call in and tell us what's going on in your league, because that's what keeps us going, knowing that somebody else is talking smack out there like we do. And and we're gonna have that playoff competition. I can't wait for that playoff competition. Hey, Jared, you'll be able to come in on that playoff competition.
But you know what? Going back to the.
I can't wait. I cannot wait for this playoff or whatever, because you guys talk so much trash that you gotta be. I'm ready to participate. So I'm in it to win it, man. I'm in it to win it.
We gotta get a
Yeah, we gotta get some of the red headphones.
Yeah, we gotta get you orange headphones.
Jared, how you doing in your league? You still losing?
Who, me? I'm done.
I just lost in the playoffs in that league.
The last week. I'm done.
Jared, what didn't you come in last in that league? I'm sorry.
No. It was down to the last week of making the playoffs.
All right, well, we'll talk more about your league. We got Stidham Starting coming up next. We're also going to talk waiver wire. We're going to talk injury report and surprise performances. Who stunned us all? Well, you will find out coming up next right here on MediaMindProTV.com. Stay tuned.
What am I supposed to say? I was supposed to say, Sonny
game, but it's gonna be a kickoff, right?
Put your chin strap
Well,
on.
it's me. Put your chin strap on. That's where I'm I'm putting on the chin strap.
We're gonna send you an
I'm
invite.
putting my chin strap on.
Make sure you accept
and
it.
y'all
I know,
leave,
right? Make sure you
I accept it.
Right.
You trying to get in the last league, but you ran off the left.
We trying to help you out.
Really? You trying to help me
We
out?
trying to help you
How you
out.
trying to help me out?
Man, okay, that's it. We've heard that, man. We've heard that before.
Man, look here. What hell? Oh, deep shit.
What you say? He gonna be ready to quit halfway through the season. Man, this shit ain't no fun.
Let me tell you what I said the first time. I told him, I ain't scared of them. I'm trying to tell you. But you know what? I want to get in that lead the first time. Motherfuckers go at me, I can't get in. What am I supposed to do? Come in there and make him let me get in? They're gonna look at me like they want to do something. Everybody know what that is, but I'm gonna look back.
Now,
Look at me with head
we got a special invitation for Golden this year.
Look,
He gonna
okay.
come on in, all right?
Look, right.
He gonna come in our league.
Look, I'm stepping on my damn helmet on Sundays for they league.
Welcome back. It's Fantasy Football League live conversations right here on MediaMindProTV.com, where we go in talking smack each and every Tuesday night at 7:30. Got my boys Mike and Aubrey holding me down. We got Hot Viz, KB, and Jerb on Google Hangouts standing by to talk stunning performances. They are laughing at me. I'm not gonna ask them, so I'm not gonna set myself up for that. But it's time to talk stunning performances.
Oh man!
Mike, let's get
All
it.
right, we're gonna go over some of these stunning performances, some surprise performances, and some great performances. But we got to start off with that running back, LaShawn McCoy.
Woo!
He ran for 217 yards and 2 TDs. Anybody in our league have him?
Ike Turner, actually.
Oh, that's who spanked me.
That's who's
I should remember that spanking, huh? I should remember that.
You don't remember Andrew Luck getting on you? Ike also had Andrew Luck.
Yeah, he had Andrew Luck, too. I thought it was for a touchdown. Because in the beginning of the game, Luck didn't do anything. Then all of a sudden, he exploded on me.
Yes, 32 points Andrew Luck gave you for fantasy.
Oh, man, he beat me up. And how about Peyton Manning? I know somebody's got Peyton. Who's got Peyton?
KB can speak on him.
Yeah, I have Peyton. What do he have? Let's see, 39 for 59, 397, 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
32, yeah. And he should have had 5, but the receiver ran the wrong route.
Oh my God.
No, seriously, the receiver ran the wrong route. He should have had. I want to change my name to He Hate Me, because y'all just a bunch of haters. Really. I understand jealousy. I understand.
I'm still trying to get you back for coming out with that cheerleading trophy.
Y'all just marinating in it.
Who has a cheerleading trophy?
Remember he came out with that big cheerleading trophy the first week?
Okay. Hey, what trophy you getting this year? What trophy you getting this year?
Last place.
Okay. There you go.
I'm a Cleveland Browns fan. I can take it. I've been through that. Okay.
All right, on to the rest of the stunning performances. Andy Dalton, 24 for 35, 275 yards, 3 touchdowns, 5 rushes for 11 yards, totaling to 30 fantasy points. Andy Dalton did his thing, as did Jason Campbell.
Yeah, we talked about Jason, the Cleveland Brown quarterback, but he's got a great wide receiver out there, Josh Gordon. We need to start calling him Flash Gordon, because the way he's running around people and scoring, 2 weeks of 200 plus yards, and this week 150 plus yards, and getting into the end zone, can't ask for more.
Can't. Aubrey, I know you were proud of Jamal Charles. Did you play him?
Yes, I did. I played Jamal Charles. He had 19 rushes, 51 yards, running TD, 2 catches for 8 yards, 1 TD. He did against the Redskins. I mean, he's just an all-around beast. But the only thing about it, he needs receivers to compliment him. Because if you have receivers to compliment him, he can be really
Like
explosive.
your team needed somebody to compliment him, right?
But wait, excuse me, you're a Cleveland Brown fan.
How do you
You need
lose?
to draft somebody to compliment him.
Yeah, give him a Jamal Charles.
Listen,
You got Jamal Charles. You also got Marcus
But let me
Colston.
finish. Let me finish.
24
Excuse me.
fantasy points and you
Wait,
still lost.
let me finish. Because the only two.
Marcus?
Yeah, no, I didn't sit Marcus. I played Marcus Colston.
Okay.
Because they said sit Marcus Colston, but I'm like against Carolina. No, that's what NFL Fantasy said sit him. But against the corners of Carolina, there was no way I was going to sit him. There was no way. He started, he played, and he would have had 3 touchdowns except his knee hit the ground. He would have had 3. So he balled out. He was due to have a good game.
And you know, I was happy when he dropped that because in another league, I got the tight end drowned, and didn't he get a touchdown because of that on the 1-yard line?
Yes, he did. I believe he did.
Yeah,
I believe
yeah,
he did.
it was excellent.
Absolutely.
I loved it. I loved
Absolutely.
it.
Speaking of having good plays and still losing, Mike, you had Josh Gordon. Did you sit him?
Wow.
Sit Josh. I never sit Josh.
Okay.
Josh is the next Calvin Johnson. Calvin Johnson had a horrible week, but what did Josh do? Came through again. Brownie, baby!
Okay.
Okay, can I say something? Can I say something about Josh Gordon?
Yeah.
He is so nasty, it's ridiculous. You got to think about what team he's on and how many weapons they have, which is none besides him. And he still puts up numbers like that. Calvin Johnson has Reggie Bush. He has other receivers on the other side. He has, a good, solid team. This guy has nothing.
Thanks
and
for the love. Thanks for the love. It's about damn time.
KD, and 3 different quarterbacks that are bombed.
Right.
Yeah, he's amazing. He's
And
amazing.
he set out the
He's
first
next
2
big
games.
thing. Yeah, he's
Because
the
of
next
drugs.
big thing.
He likes to smoke that ganji.
Oh, he does.
Oh, wow.
So he's gonna get a sit down pretty soon.
Well, if another one, he's out for 6 weeks.
Okay.
Well, KB, while I have you, Roethlisberger, that never rolls off my tongue just the way I want it to. Ben R. 23 fantasy points.
Ben has had a really solid year. Ben just can't get off my bench because I have Peyton Manning. He's another one of the guys I wanted to bundle in a trade, but no one would trade with me, so I'm going to quit bringing that up. But yeah.
You guys know ever since they had the rumors about Ben wanting out of Pittsburgh, he's been unstoppable.
He sure has.
He's been putting up big numbers.
Who said that?
That's the voice. That's the voice of Hop.
That's the Hop
voice
boy.
of Hop right there.
That's the hot boy.
And that's my Raymond picture right
The
there.
Raymond picture. Hey, where to go?
Hop, while I have you, let's talk about Ben Marshall. 6 catches for 100 yards, giving you 12 points. Hope you played them.
Yeah. And this kid from South Carolina is stealing a lot of my thunder over there in Chicago. But Brandon Marshall is still making some plays every now and then.
You
I
think
just need to
Alshon
make
Jeffries
a little
out there
bit
is
more.
helping? Alshon Jeffries on the outside is helping him, huh?
Yeah, he is.
14
But yeah, I
fantasy
need a little
points.
bit more out of Brandon Marshall, especially going against a team like Scoregas.
Yeah, I hear you.
Well,
But how
you know
about-
what's
How about
You know
this
what'll
boy
happen
Derrick?
is
Derrick Rogers. Who ever heard of him?
No
Never
one.
heard
No
of
one
not
has
me.
him.
Probably won't hear
No
from
one
him
in
again
our
next week
league.
either.
Right. He had his
22
good
fantasy
week.
points, but he had 6 catches, 107 yards, 2 touchdowns. We'll talk more about last week. Actually, we'll talk about the injuries that occurred coming up. Coming up, we got the injury report and the waiver wire. We're going to talk Wes Walker, Rob Gronkowski, Adrian Peterson, Reggie Bush, all of them. Who's out for the season? We'll let you know coming up, and who you can replace them with. We'll speak waiver wire coming up right here on Fantasy Football League Live Conversations. It is MediaMindProTV.com. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Fantasy Football League live conversations where we talk smack and talk stats each and every Tuesday night at 7:30. It's about that time to talk injuries. So disappointing when you have injuries, especially when they're out for the season.
Oh yeah. We got a couple of them out for the season, like the tight end, Rob Gronk. New England Patriots, he's out. Anybody got him?
Viz has him.
I have him.
Viz? Who you got
But you
for him?
know what? You got to look at it this way. He's been absent like half of the season, so only him for maybe 4 games this season.
Yeah.
Injured again, so I was able to win without him, before, and I can do it again. That's how I am. That's what champions do.
So who's your backup tight end?
I got Jason Witten from the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, that's good. That's a good placement.
No, it's not good because Romo ain't nothing in December. He's done. KB's gonna win this thing.
Oh, so
True.
you don't...
Do I hear a bet? Do I hear a wager? You gonna put money on it?
Jerry, you know what?
All right,
He's right.
Jerry.
If you watch
He
that
got
game
the G-ball.
that he played, yeah. And there's some credibility to that because if you watch the game when he played against Chicago Bears, they got away from the run. He didn't throw the pass, and Romo was just like hot garbage. But you're a Cowboy fan,
Whoa,
Vince, so I
listen
expect
to Aubrey, guys. Listen to Aubrey.
Yeah. How about Tavon Austin? Who's got Tavon Austin out there?
I've got him the scoregasms, but he never got in my lineup. I picked him up after he had that huge game, and I wanted to kind of evaluate and see how he would do for the rest of the year.
He's
And
evaluating.
hey, that's what I do. If you can't get into my lineup, then I'll evaluate you. I'll check you out, see what you do on the bench.
Wow, that's a real owner right there.
I gotta get in that league. I gotta get in that
gotta
league,
do.
man.
How about AP? Anybody got Adrian Peterson? I know, he might be back or has told me. They say he might sit out the rest of the year.
I heard he
Oh,
will
he's
play
gonna
next week.
No, he's
With the
gonna
foot
play.
sprain, he's gonna play.
He's in the boot. Yeah, this is a possibility of playing.
Yeah,
So he's
I heard
questionable.
on ESPN today that
But-
he might sit out the rest.
You
He's
never know
questionable.
with a sprain, though.
I wouldn't
like-
sit Adrian Peterson. He's questionable. So you got
Even if the Vikings don't have a chance of making it in?
Right.
The coaches do
Shut
it
him down.
if they don't have a chance.
I think the
Yeah.
ghost Hop is trying to talk.
Yeah,
Hop,
well.
What you say, huh?
Yeah.
But Bruce A. Collins, hey baby.
I don't think I'd play him if it was me, but I don't know that they're concerned because I don't know that he'll be back in Minnesota next year.
Ooh.
That's true. He's
Oh,
talking about going to playing for the Texans or possibly the Cowboys to end his career. Because he said that's where he's from. He wants to end his career there.
Oh,
Small
at
move.
I thought he wanted to play for the
that's nice.
Browns because his daddy always told him he was no Jimmy Brown. That's what he said he grew up hearing.
Okay,
You're
okay.
no Jimmy Brown.
You're killing me on this.
Okay, Wes Welker.
Where do you
Let's
get
go
that
to Wes
from?
Welker, okay? Wes Welker, concussion. So this is the second one, so he can't play next week, am I right?
That's correct.
He's out
Second,
next
after the
game.
second concussion, you have to sit out the next game. So he's out for Thursday's game.
And then everybody loves Reggie Bush. While he stretches, he pulls a muscle and can't play.
I'm such a softy.
I'm so
Also warming up. You ain't even gotten into the game yet, and you.
But that was
Injured.
good. But you know what?
Viz.
Look at the
Don't
weather.
talk about my players, Viz. That's my player.
But-
Let me talk about him. Look, I'm so disgusted with that dude. I am so disgusted
I
with
thought you
Reggie
was a-
Bush
I thought
and
you
the
was
Detroit
evaluating-
Lions in general. I'm disgusted with him.
I thought you was evaluating players.
Listen,
But wait a minute.
how do you get hurt warming up? I
Stretch
can't. It's
too
too
long.
late.
Soft.
It's too late for me to change my lineup.
Jesse's
I'm
feeling
looking at it and
good.
I'm saying, "Where's Reggie? Where's Reggie?" He's
Kim Kardashian.
But then he slipped because of the conditions.
He did slip because
Because of the
conditions.
conditions on the field were icy. That's what caused him to fall.
You got all kinds.
That wasn't his
Speaking
excuse.
of
of
conditions-
conditions, you just take up for him.
No, but it's a true fact.
is
He
true.
slipped and fell.
Hey, but
Well,
all
guys,
the
speaking
all
of
at the
ice and
grocery
conditions,
store,
we're going to
that's
talk
no
about that.
excuse.
We're going to talk about how weather plays a factor later on the show when we talk about next week's games because it is supposed to snow. We got some cold weather coming up. But
We
to
got
get back,
another running back we need to talk about.
Who's
Thank
that?
Jonathan Stewart, the man who never plays a whole year.
I think
I
Torn
don't think he's
ACL.
on anybody's team. Did anybody pick him up?
Golden Rules.
well, he's out for the season, so.
Well,
yeah, he need to get rid of him. I think Jonathan Stewart
Yeah,
career
he's
with
gone.
Carolina could be
So
over.
with all of these injuries, let's talk waiver wire. Who can? Are we still messing with the waiver wire?
If
Is
we
it?
can do waiver wires. Can we do waiver wires still in our league?
Yeah.
In the playoffs?
In the
Yeah, you still
playoffs?
pick up people, Ken.
Oh, y'all gotta
Oh,
change that
man.
rule. Oh, that's
Okay, can I tell you who I picked up?
Who would you
Can I
pick
tell you who
up?
I picked up? Nobody. Remember, all this whole season, my theme has been I need a tight end. I need a tight end.
Right.
Nobody would trade. Remember, Mike, you said I will absolutely not trade with you.
Further out.
Dennis Pitta has come back from injured reserve. And on the very first game, he got a touchdown, got about 5 catches. Last year he was the number 2 target, had the most targets. He was in second place. And I'm going to play him this week. I'm going to play him this week.
Oh,
so that's a big gamble.
Hey, that's a soft league if y'all can pick up before the playoffs.
Well, yeah, but we'll change
play on
that
your
next
roster.
year.
Hey, Aaron.
But let's talk about some of
soft.
the people that let us down this week. I'm just going to read down some names.
That's soft.
Ben Tate, Calvin Johnson, E.J. Manuel, Chris Johnson, Cam Newton, Eli Manning, and Zach Stacy. All were people you thought would do good and didn't do anything.
2 of those were mine. So Chris Johnson and Zach Stacy, they both didn't do anything.
You got such a deep bench team. they
For
were
real.
probably on the
I
bench.
mean,
Yeah, but Chris Johnson was playing. Zach Stacy was on the bench, but I mean, so it still affected me. But I still won. But I do have a deep bench, but I still need those points because I'm gonna tell you, Nicole, the super producers, I'm really a little bit nervous about playing her in the
be.
playoffs.
She's
She's tough.
the only female
She's
in
tough.
our league, and she's whooping
Absolutely.
some butt.
Her team is no joke. She's in 4th place for a reason. And
KB's got
She
a
was in
fantasy
second
app.
I'm not
the
taking her
longest,
light. I'm not taking her light.
Hell, KB, you got 20 points from your kicker.
KB's got a
I
fantasy
did,
app,
and
man.
my defense got about 25 points. I mean, I'm getting from everywhere. I'll be honest.
KB is cheating, man. KB got a fantasy app. He's just running that bad boy. Oh, shit.
Because clearly I'm not smart enough. Okay. all
Well,
right.
we're going to talk more about next week and what you can expect. You know, we got the Sit-'em Stardom segment coming up. So stay tuned. We got your suggestions for what you need to do, who you need to bench, who you need to start. Stay tuned right here to Fantasy Football League live conversations on MediaMindProTV.com.
I've always been told that I'm too small. I'm not big enough. I'm not fast enough. I don't have what it takes. I prepare so no one can take what is mine. No one can replace my mind, my heart. To be the best and stay there, sweat is necessary. I'm older. Of course I'm older. That's the beauty of it. 16 years plus. Different level of wisdom, different level of understanding, different level of punishment. I want to live long after my records have fallen, long after my rings have tarnished. And whatever you got to do to make sure you chase your legacy every second of your life. Will you be remembered? How would you be remembered? Why wouldn't you fight for the greatest achievement ever? Leave your mark to endure forever.
Welcome back. Welcome back to Fantasy Football League Live Conversations right here on MediaMindProTV.com. I'm your host, Erica, here with my boys, Mike and Aubrey, holding me down. Got my boys, Jerb, James, Hop, KB, and Terrence on Google Hangouts chilling with us. No, Terrence isn't with us today. He's in the clouds. But it's about that time. The best part of the show, we are talking stardom, sit-em. This is the suggestions. This is the input that's most important because it's telling you what you need to do. And you might, sometimes we're right. We'll see. Let's go. Let's start it off. Redskins, let's start off with a joke, right? Redskins defense versus the Falcons. Mike, what do you do?
Woo! I'm so scared of the Falcons. I'm going to sit that Redskins defense.
Are you serious?
I'm going to sit the Redskins defense.
All right, sit in. Aubrey, start or sit the Redskins defense versus the Falcons.
Sit them both.
Mm.
I'm good.
I hear that. Jerb. Start or sit Redskins.
I mean, really. I mean, you know what? If Fabian, I'm gonna talk about Fabian next week because this is just ridiculous. This is a waste of time.
Maybe it's just comical relief.
Talk about next week.
Start or sit them.
Start them.
All right. Hop. Start or sit Redskins.
Listen, there will be no defense in this game from either team.
I
Sit 'em.
know. KB.
I guess it's illegal to plant a nuclear device in that stadium. But let's just blow both of them up.
We sitting them in Viz.
I hear a rebellion going on, so I think that Redskins will not do too well this coming week.
So you're sitting them. All right. MIA's Ryan Tannehill versus the Patriots. What are you going to do, Mike?
Sit them.
All right.
Even though the Patriots give up a lot of yards, I'm going to sit them because I just don't have any confidence in Miami.
Aubrey.
Sit the QB.
Jerb.
I say sit them because Cleveland really exposed New England last week, and I think they're going to be on a heightened awareness. So I would say sit Tannehill.
All right, Hop.
Yeah, sit Tannehill.
KB.
Did you say the Miami Dolphins at the New England Patriots?
Are they?
Is that correct? I think that's the way you said it. Let me put it this way: if they're going to New England, absolutely sit him because
it's too cold
Miami, New England, no.
Yeah. Viz.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. Tannehill in New England playing in the cold, sit him.
All right, Andy Dalton versus the Steelers. Mike.
Ooh, I'm going to sit Andy too.
Aubrey.
Start him.
All right. Jerb.
What you guys don't understand is these are two cold weather teams. So I would start Andy Dalton because the Steelers secondary has not been that pristine here this year. So I say start him.
All right, Hop, would you agree?
What my boy Jerb is trying to say is the Steelers is old. Start him.
KB.
I would start him and have Tomlin come off the bench and trip him.
Viz.
Yeah, I'll have to start him too,
Viz.
Yeah, I was just saying you have to start him too.
All right. Marcel Reese versus the Chiefs. Mike, start us in.
Oh, I don't even know who Marcel Reese is. No, I'm kidding. But I would sit him. He's lucky to get time because Jennings is hurt.
Aubrey, start us sit. Marcel Reese.
Sit.
Jerb.
You gotta sit him. The Chiefs are playing so well right now. You gotta sit him.
All right, Hop.
I'm gonna start him because he's their only option, basically.
KB.
Sit him. I believe my defense just had 2 touchdowns on turnovers this week. That's the Kansas City Chiefs.
It's all about him. It's all
It is all about me, baby. I got to get my shine on. I'm sorry. I happen to have the Kansas City Chiefs, Jerry.
Viz, you starting us sitting Marcel Reese.
Yo, I'm about to go ahead and sit him.
All right, Roddy White versus the Redskins.
Wow.
Aubrey.
Oh my God, really? Sit both of them down.
Jerb.
Well, Roddy White is the only capable wide receiver on the Falcons. You got to start him.
I'm sorry, was that a start or sit? Because one of our producers is talking.
Start him, Erica.
All right, Hop.
Start him.
Sit him. I cannot think of a reason why I would say start him.
KB.
Well, Julio Jones just brought a house around the corner from me, and this is the truth. And we were all at a party the other day, and Roddy said, "Hey man,
Are you serious? Are you
I'm serious. I'm serious. Okay."
I gotta get in this league, man.
Biz, starter sit. Roddy White.
Does KB have a story for everything?
Hey, y'all asked for it.
Answer the question, man. Answer the question. No. Hey, you know what? Roddy White, they got to fight for pride this week. So they need to win just to build that stadium they won in Atlanta. So start.
All
Build a
right.
stadium in Atlanta.
Listen, that Roddy White ain't got nothing to do in the stadium. Falcons. Really? Next, Erica.
Turby Gayhart versus the Eagles. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Gerhart versus the Eagles. Starter set them.
Where they playing at, you know? I don't, but if
don't
they're
know.
playing in Philly, I'm sitting them. If they're playing in Minnesota, I'm sitting them.
Okay. So why you ask? Aubrey.
Just to throw in some smack.
Yeah, Philly D is really tight right now. You got to sit him.
All right. Jerb.
You gotta sit him because Leslie Frazier is about to get fired. So I mean, if they know they can't make the playoffs, I would sit
All right, Hop.
Sit him.
because nobody's really into the game.
KB.
I'm gonna start him because I saw him. He was on snow last week, wasn't he, or no? I believe he was, and he was running downhill. And he is the goal line option. So anytime they get close, he's gonna get the touchdown. So I'm gonna start him.
All right, Viz.
He was running good this week, and
Sure
Adrian
was.
Peterson, he's not coming back this week. So you hang that up. Go ahead and start.
Start them. All right. Well, we ran out of time, but hopefully we'll come back real quick and do a recap of the rest of the startup seasons because we still got Mike Stafford, Victor Cruz, Hakeem Nicks, Mike Glennon, Matt Ryan, Andre Johnson, and Big Ben to talk about. So, gentlemen, get your answers ready. We'll wrap up our stardom and send them coming right up right here on Fantasy Football League Live Conversations. Stay tuned. Keep it locked to MediaMindProTV.com. We'll be right back.
Look, I be riding through my old hood, but I'm in my new whip. Same old attitude, but I'm on that new shit. They say they gon' ride me. See me never.
King is here. Oh yeah. He might be coming out of college. But that Alabama boy, who was he drafted by? Green Bay Packers. Green Bay Packers, right. I gotta put him down. Lacy. Oh yeah, he got power. Oh yeah, I like that Lacy boy. Oh, I might have to take him, and Green Bay needs a running back. Whoa, go Lacy. Okay. Yeah, gotta look at them rookies, gotta look at them draft choices.
Fantasy football quarterback for my team will be Aaron Rodgers. The top three point-producing quarterbacks last year in fantasy football were in the order of Drew Brees, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers. I'm choosing Aaron Rodgers because, for one, Drew Brees, the defense is a little shaky. You have to have the ball to score points. They throw the ball a lot, but the defense is really weak. Tom Brady has issues with his receivers. Deion Branch is gone, Wes Welker's gone, and Aaron Hernandez is having legal issues. So we don't know if he's going to be available or not. And on top of that, Gronkowski is hurt. So that's it. And I'm going to choose Aaron Rodgers because they're going to be really, really hungry this year, and they can improve their defense, so they'll have the ball. How do you have Aaron Rodgers when I have Aaron Rodgers? Because I got the number one pick. I got the number one pick.
How many Super Bowls does the Cleveland Browns have?
Hey, we're not talking about that. Hey, let's not get personal. We're not talking about that right now.
Yeah, set your resolution to standard, because if I set mine to high, if you're on a mobile device, you won't be able to see it.
He played Virginia Tech. He should chase rabbits in his front yard.
Look how nice they are to each other so far.
Right. Playing football, he sat on the bench. Oh, okay. Who give next? You been smoking. Come on, bro.
I heard you talking about them quarterbacks. Yeah, okay, so I'm trying to steal some information so when you get ready to draft, I know what's going on.
Loud. I thought you were the big payback.
Hey!
I switched it.
Because he got herpes now, so.
We can make a secret group for those who are not allowed to be directly on Facebook. Right. We'll make a private group for them.
Everybody knows about Jim Brown.
Jimmy, I'll be wearing that jersey. Yes, definitely. You will see that jersey on Fantasy Football Live Conversation.
The dog sound.
All right, we're gonna wrap it up. And hey, don't forget to check in next week. Are you sorry?
Welcome back to Fantasy Football League Live Conversations, where it all goes down. We give you the suggestions, the requirements, everything you need to know to play fantasy football and hopefully win this round. And we got to finish our start 'em, sit 'em because that's the juiciest part of the show. We know you want to know. You got questions like, for instance, should you start Matt Stafford versus the Ravens?
Start
Mike.
him. Start him.
Start him.
Aubrey?
Start.
Jerb?
Start.
Hop?
Start him.
Viz?
Start him.
KB?
Start.
What about Vic? What about Vic? Our producer says, our director says sit him, and he's the only one that says sit him. We'll talk about that next week. We'll see how wrong he might be next week.
And he's getting wrong because of that playoff thing we're getting ready to start here.
Wow.
Victor Cruz versus the Seahawks.
Woo! I'd have to sit him.
Aubrey?
I start Cruz.
Okay. Jerb, start us at Victor Cruz.
Oh, sit his cha-cha ass down.
I love it when he touches down. No, that's the best part of the game.
Cruz. I would start him.
Hop, start us at Victor Cruz.
Man, sit him. Sit him.
KB.
What did Aubrey say?
I said start him.
I know, I figured that.
I start Victor Cruz.
The opposite of what Aubrey said.
I start him.
KB.
Sit him.
Viz.
They're gonna rattle with Eli, so sit him.
All right. Hakeem Nicks versus Seahawks.
If I sit Victor, I'm sitting Hakeem.
Aubrey.
I sit Hakeem.
All right. Jerb.
Are you serious? Sit his ass. I'm sorry, I'm getting like Aubrey.
Hop. Watch your mouth, Aubrey. No.
Why are you Hakeem, man?
Hop.
Sit him.
Sit him. KB.
Give him a bean pie. Sit down.
Viz.
Sit that dude.
And what about Andre Johnson versus the Colts? Mike.
Gotta start him. Gotta start him.
Aubrey.
Start.
Jerb.
You gotta start him.
Hop.
Start him.
KB.
Start him.
Viz.
He's a given start.
All right, and let's talk defense real quick. Big Ben versus the Bengals. Oh, I'm sorry, not
Big Ben. I'd
Well.
start Big Ben but if I had Peyton Manning, he'd be on my bench.
So you starting them?
Yep, start him.
Aubrey.
Start.
Jerb.
You gotta start him. I mean, that's a big rivalry game in the AFC North. So you gotta start him.
Hop.
Big Ben is on a roll. Start him.
KB.
I have Peyton Manning.
That's your answer?
It's all about him.
Gotta sit him.
Viz, start and sit Big Ben.
Hey, he's playing well. Start him.
All right. Now, speaking of next week, who to start, who to sit, let's talk about the championship games, the playoffs coming up. We have the semifinals, Scoregasms versus Super Producers. Scoregasms, what's your plan going into the playoffs? You've been number one the whole time, so I'm sure you're not changing much.
I'm sticking with my plan. I'm sticking with my blueprint. Fortunately for me, something that may help me out is one of her top receivers is I'm the quarterback. I have the quarterback for one of her top receivers, so that helps. That always helps.
So whenever she scores, you score.
Exactly. So, yeah. that may help me out. But she's got a tough team. She's got a very difficult team, and I think the top 4 teams are in the top 4 positions. It's been consistent all throughout. She's been up there the whole time.
Exactly.
Viz has been up there the whole time, and Terrence has been up there the whole time. So should be good.
Speaking of Viz, you'll be playing Terrence, aka Mind Games. What's your strategy going into it?
Well, of course, Gronkowski is out, so I'm going to put him on the bench along with T.Y. Hilton since he's not playing worth anything. And I'm going to throw in Jay Bell for Detroit since, what's his name? I forgot the dude. He's going to be on the bench, injured. Reggie, yeah, that dude. And and I'm going to have to replace him with another receiver. I need another receiver in my lineup, so I'm trying to find one.
All right. And the consolation playoffs, they playing for play. Not the real championship, but Aubrey, you'll be playing next week in the playoffs.
Yes, Ike.
Aubrey's in the playoffs?
He's in the consolation playoffs, not the real playoffs, the play playoffs.
And if I win,
internet world, if he can be in some kind of playoff in fantasy, he can do it next
Hey,
year.
listen, my brother. But even if I'm in consolation playoffs and I win, it's a victory, ain't it? I rest my case.
Way to stay positive.
First loser.
And Hop is also in the play playoffs. Hop, what's your strategy going in?
Erica, I'm not going to do like Aubrey. I'm not even going to speak on the playoffs, but I will say this.
Hey, yo, man.
Super Producers has not surfaced this whole season. She's been laying in the cut, and I tell you, the woman knows what she's doing.
Mm-hmm.
She picked up Josh McCown, and that was a stroke of genius.
It was.
Yep. And I'm going to tell you, if you guys take her lightly, you'll be sitting over here with me and Aubrey in the playoff.
No. Hey, KB better win. If KB don't win next week, I'm going to write a whole monologue.
Really?
I'm going to get Nikki in the studio.
Really?
No pressure, Kay.
It is no pressure. It is no pressure. Because I respect her, unlike I respect some of these other guys who can't play dead. So you guys keep yapping. You guys keep yapping while you watch us play. Okay?
Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about this playoff format. I'm just going to read to you all how it's going to go, and then any suggestions you all can give to me. Players are going to remember this is not head-to-head. It'd be over the whole playoff. You'll only be able to get a quarterback, a running back, a wide receiver, running back, or a wide receiver tight end, a kicker, and a defensive team. There will be no bench. Once your player is eliminated, you will get no more points for him. It will be an accumulative points over the complete playoffs, and then we'll see who wins the playoff fantasy victory. Everybody got it?
What the? What?
When are we drafting? This is a whole.
Okay,
He's talking about a whole
slow
new.
ones, for those who are slow, call me and I'll explain it to you.
What Mike is referring to is a whole new league. It's a playoff league that we'll be doing in addition to our regular fantasy football season. Since half of the leagues got benched or a bye, they're done. So to give the rest of us some busy work to do, we're gonna start our own playoff league for the remainder of the season. So we'll talk more about that next week coming back. Just want to give some last words for everybody watching.
Hey, great season. Looking forward to see who wins it.
Word. I think it's gonna be a good season too.
Jerv?
Good luck to everybody that's still in the playoffs, and please get in this other thing because I got to be in this league. Oh no, it didn't. No.
KB, what's the music for?
That's for all these losers and clowns and wannabe fantasy players talking all this. You can't play dead, okay?
Hop,
Drop the mic, I'm gone.
Hop, last words.
Hey, MediaMindProTV.com. That's my last word. Had a ball, guys.
Appreciate that. Viz.
Hey, I'm in the playoffs, baby. Enough
You
said.
ain't going nowhere. I hear that.
Oh.
But speaking of going places, we gotta go. It's about that time to wrap it on up. We will be here next Tuesdays talking smack, talking stats. Each and every Tuesday night, Fantasy Football League live conversations at 7:30 right here on MediaMindProTV.com. We'll see you next week. Peace out.